Sorry for delay. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Am I audible and visible?
Yes,
Hello.
you are.
Yeah, thank you. So, good morning, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. So congratulations. Today, if I say in cricketing language of Toastmaster Ritik, we are not out 53. Means we are on meeting number 53 and still long way to go. A warm welcome to meeting number 53 of Mumbai Speakers Toastmaster Club. I'm Walter Crasto. It's my pleasure to be the first speaker, the Zoom master and staff for this meeting. And it's my duty and responsibility to open meeting with full of energy. So I will request everyone to unmute yourself. Are you ready? Unmute yourself.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, great. So we are clapping. Just listen me out first. Correct? Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Start.
I still remember my NSS clap.
Great. One more time. Everyone. One more time. Last. Thank you. Thank you so much. So let's work together to bring best out of us. On this quote, let's begin with Zoom guideline. Please keep mute yourself, and those who are having access to share button, please do not click in error. Please keep your camera switched on so that our speaker can enjoy their virtual stage experience. However, if you are moving around or if there is a background movement, please switch off your camera so that it will not distract our speakers. As far as possible, speakers, evaluators, keep your camera at your eye level. Please contact separately to me or Zoom Master for any technical issue or connection problem. When you are speaking, try to switch off the notification sound to avoid any distraction in your speech. Please rename yourself. If you have taken any role in this meeting, rename yourself as meeting role underscore name. Or if you are just a member, then you rename yourself as member underscore name. Or if you are the guest, then rename yourself as guest underscore name. Please do not post anything on the chat box for all participants unless it has been asked by speaker as an audience response. Please use reaction button generously to convey your appreciation and applause. We all know the private chats are accessible to the owner of the account, so it is not really private. It is advisable to keep the comments restricted to the meeting underway so that it should be appropriate even if your messages are accessed by someone else. Let's move on to the meeting ground rules. Members are requested to refrain from speaking about 3 taboo topics, that is sex, religion, and politics. Please check your audio and video connection before you start your speech. You can say check audio, check video, or you can say am I audible and visible. Please say thank you when taking over control and say over to you while handing over control to another speaker. All the speakers and evaluator, please keep the timer screen in your view. Whenever you are speaking, the timer will show you green, yellow, and red card. This meeting is being recorded and we may click few pictures while meeting is in progress. If you really don't want your video to be recorded, please inform Zoom Master or me, Sergeant at Arm, before you start your speech. Let's move on to the mission statement. The mission statement of Toastmaster Club is that we provide supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. With that, I have come to the end of Zoom Master and SAR guidelines. So without any further ado, let me hand over the control to presiding officers of today's meeting. She really doesn't require the introduction. Professionally, she is a private banker, worked in Middle East in many multiple MNCs. She's a Toastmaster since 2001, a classical dancer and student of music. Any guess who will be? She is no other than president of our own club, Toastmaster Sudha. So with big round of applause, please help me to welcome our presiding officer of today's meeting, Toastmaster Sudha. Over to you, Toastmaster Sudha.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Walter. Good to see you back at the SARS seat after giving chance to a lot of youngsters. It's nice to see a unique, always unique introduction to the SAR role. Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is charged and ready to take on the meeting today. Did you all have your breakfast or yet to have a breakfast? Because you will know why I'm asking that question very soon. But before I get on to the TMoD and the role and the theme that we have today, it's Gudi Padwa. We have just finished a new year in some context. It was the end of the financial year and the beginning of a new financial year. We all had a break after our 31st tax closing. I'm sure we all did that, went through the grit of all the reportings that we had to do to our chartered accountants. And yes, there is also a beautiful connection which I noticed, that as we welcome the financial year, and in Hindus, we also welcome the new year. And there are a lot of festivity around it, and there are some regions which are waiting for the mid of the month to have the new year also being celebrated. There's also a lot of things happening around, so that's what intrigued me to think how beautiful humanity is. When you talk of the 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 month of Kent and the Good Friday, which is coming on the 14th, that is also a beautiful solemn occasion for a lot of our friends out here. Also, when we talk of Eid, it's the Ramadan Kareem, which is a new month of fasting, which has also begun today. So the only reason why I brought this up is, of course, I know religion is not to be touched too much into detail, but the reason why I bought this was I was really amazed at the way how all the energies are towards welcoming something so beautiful, a new beginning, a new change, which we want, or maybe prayers, meditation, introspection. All these things are coupled with this particular month and this season. And also the harvest season, it's the beginning of reaping the fruits of what you have actually sown. So there are a lot of happening events which are happening around us, and I just thought that we should be mindful about this, as we are finally a human being, and all the other things are man-made, and that's the beautiful connection with nature and the universe, which I wanted to point out today. So along with that, I would like to get on to the TMoD role and the theme that we are going to be having for the whole morning today. The reason why I felt that it was important to connect the dots between the new beginnings and also the theme today is that we will be having an induction of our new members. And our new members are also going to start. They're going to have a new beginning. So that's another thing which we're going to be installing them as Toastmasters in our club, and also giving them all the resources and aids required to continue their journey along with us. And of course, the TMoD is also bringing on a very important thought for all of us. Maybe we should also consider that as we take up the new beginning, our attitude towards our food and health. So I won't take too much of time talking about this, because I'll be stealing the thunder from the TMoD. He's a newly, I would say, added member, maybe about 6 months or 8 months from now, before. And he's been very enthusiastic from the time that he joined us, always smiling, very firm and clear in his thoughts, very, I would say, enthusiastic about his role. He's also our VP membership. And you can see that in his efforts as well, that we have really done a rocking job as far as Mumbai speakers membership routine is concerned. So I won't take too much time, and let's all put our hands together to welcome our own VP membership and also Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Raghav.
Thank you so much.
Toastmaster Raghav, the stage is all yours.
Thank you. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. Someone once said, there is no love more sincere than a love for food. I have been a lover and a lover of food. Trust me, I know the difference. After a long day at work, when you sit down at a dinner table with your family and spend some lovely time, so beautiful, isn't it? But having said that, how come what is the most common New Year resolution that people have? I'll start eating healthy today. Or maybe I'll start hitting the gym. Somewhat or the other, it is related to food. Because we're so occupied with our day-to-day work that we barely pay attention to what we are eating. We are just all the time we are thinking about work, even during lunchtime in office, we are just having it as a kind of ritual just to put something on the stomach and get on with work. What it results in, diverting into the easily available options, the unhealthy ones. And we all know how badly it affects our health. At this point, you may be wondering, am I a dietitian of sort? Or am I a food blogger of sort? Why I am suddenly talking about food? But no, I just love fast food so much. And I was kind of trying to get rid of it. But what if I told you that the best diet out there doesn't involve any food restrictions? And all you have to do is think. It's called mindful eating. It's the practice of awareness and intention. Simply focusing on your food and the process of eating, we can change our dietary behaviors and eat healthy. It is actually a Buddhist meditation technique, the mindful eating. And it teaches us to understand, respect, and value food. Today, we'll talk more about this new lifestyle trend called mindful eating. And we also see how we can apply this technique to our lives without getting stuck to those weight loss regimen, such as this much only you have to eat and that. Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, it is my privilege and pleasure to welcome you all to Mumbai Speakers Toastmasters Club. For the benefit of the guest, I would like to explain the structure of the meeting. The meeting is divided into 3 parts. The first part is the prepared speeches round, in which member will give speeches depending on the part and project they are pursuing. Today, as Toastmaster Sudha has mentioned, we have a special session. After we only have one prepared speech today. After the speech, we will talk about our members of our club, how their experience have been being part of Mumbai Toastmasters Club. That will be a session of about 10 minutes. And it will be followed by the induction of the new members to our club. The second part is the table topics round, in which members can practice thinking and speaking on their feet. Guests are also welcome to participate in this round. The third round is the evaluation round, in which the general evaluator and their team member will give feedback to the prepared speeches speakers. As the Toastmaster of the day, it is my duty to introduce the role bearers who will assist me in running today's session. To keep track of the time spent by each speaker, please help me welcome timer of today's meeting, Toastmaster Ajay. Over to you, Toastmaster Ajay.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Raghav. Good morning to everyone. As a timer, I am responsible for helping the speakers to express their thoughts within the allotted time limits. My duty is to time prepared speeches, table topic speeches, speech evaluations, or educational sessions during this meeting. To help me in performing my role, I have this set of 3 colors. Let me show you. Just a minute now. Please confirm if you can see all this screen. Green. Yeah.
Yes, we can see Ajay.
Okay, thanks. So green card indicates qualifying time for your speech. The yellow card indicates target time for your speech. And the red card indicates maximum time allocated to you. So let me share this to you. Yeah, you can see this. You can see this screen, right? So
Yes.
we have sessions. First, it will go in speech sessions, prepared speech sessions. It will be 5 to 7 minutes. I will present the green card at 5 minutes, yellow light at 6 minutes, red light at 7 minutes, and this session has 30 seconds on the either side of the upper side of the limit. Subsequently, I will present the evaluation 2 minutes, green light on 2 minutes, yellow light on 2 minutes 30 seconds, and red light on 3 minutes. We have also 30 seconds on either side of the timer limit, and then the table topic sessions. It has also have 1 to 2 minutes. I'll present green card at 1 minute, yellow light at 1 minute 30 seconds, red light in 2 minutes, and we also have 30 seconds on the either side of the time limit. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Raghav.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ajay.
Yeah.
To track the good and not so good uses of grammar, we have the grammarian of the day, Toastmaster Sangram. Over to you, Toastmaster Sangram.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raghav, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I'll take note of any misuse of English language, as well as outstanding words, quotes, sayings, and thoughts. As a grammarian, it is also my responsibility duty to introduce the word of the day. And the word of the day is paramount. It means more important than anything else or supreme. A few examples are like, safety is a paramount importance. In our work, quality is important. One more example I would give. While intelligence and talent are prerequisites, people skills are paramount. So I would encourage all the speakers to use the word of the day. I'll give a word of the day report and a grammarian usage report when called upon during the meeting. Thank you, Toastmaster, and over to you, Raghav.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sangram. It's a beautiful word of the day, paramount. I encourage all the speakers to use this word during the meeting. Now, to keep track of and ums during the meeting, we have the counter of the day, Toastmaster Darshan. Over to you, Toastmaster Darshan.
Thank you, Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and my dear guests. My role as counter is to record unnecessary sounds used by the speakers and word bearers. They include the crutch word sounds like filler words like but, like, so, okay, those kinds. Filler phrases like and so, etc. Extremely long pauses. The crutch words or filler found sounds obstruct the smooth flow of speech. can be annoying to the listeners, at the same time decreases the value of the speech. Therefore, the R counter notes these words and phrases in order to help the speakers become aware of them and minimize the use of these words and phrases in future. I'll present the R counter report when called upon by general evaluator at the end of the meeting. Thank you, Toastmaster. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Darshan. Yeah. So we'll now have the prepared speeches round. The first speaker for this round is Toastmaster Ritik. Toastmaster Ritik will be attempting level 3, project 1 from dynamic leadership path. To evaluate this speech, we have Toastmaster Glenn. Toastmaster Glenn, I request you to read out the speech objective. Over to you, Toastmaster Glenn.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Raghav. My speaker today, as you mentioned, is Toastmaster Ritik, and the title of the speech is The Art of Negotiation. The purpose of today's speech is for him to share different types of negotiation strategies that can be used when negotiating, and also to share an aspect that he would have used or maybe intends to use in the future on negotiation. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Raghav.
Thank you, Toastmaster Glenn. Title of Toastmaster Ritik's speech is The Art of Negotiation. The Art of Negotiation, Toastmaster Ritik, the Art of Negotiation. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritik. Have you ever been in a situation where you thought you could get more, but you got less? Or you could have been chosen for something that you're not chosen?
Every day.
Every day. Okay. So let's start with audience. Do you want to share your experiences while negotiation in a job offer or any team discussion, or even with the friends? So I want to hear from the audience first. Anybody? They can raise their hands.
I can go for.
Yeah,
Walter,
sure.
yeah.
Toastmaster Walter.
So basically, well, I observed it whenever we are negotiating the terms with these vendors and all. So the strategy is like we should not open all our cards with them. So basically, if you go more transparent while negotiation, being honest, we try to be very transparent, and then we realize we end up like on the losing part, because they have kept share some cards and they have put it at latter stage, and then maybe terms of the scope and these SLAs and all, they come up with some different ideas. Over the period, we do learn, and then we also try to keep that as is.
Okay, Toastmaster Walter, you were saying the patience should be there so that we can get the best outcome from the negotiation.
Yeah.
Okay, Toastmaster Raghav.
Yeah, I'll be quick. So initially, because I'm in sales, I negotiate very frequently with my clients. Initially, my what I thought is that I should not show all my cards. I slightly disagree with Toastmaster Walter. So is it because if I show my cards, he will know everything about me? Then I realized that the other party is also thinking the same way. Why should I show all my cards to him? And there is a kind of information, discrepancy between all of us. Actually, we want to agree on something, but because we are not sharing all the things, we are not able to achieve that. But nowadays, I try to share as much information as possible. Of course, not the most confidential ones, but this has really given me very good fruits and results. Yeah, that's about my negotiations.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raghav. You look like the Wolf of Wall Street. Okay, so we saw two different perspectives in negotiation. So mainly there are 4 negotiation styles. First is competitive, second is accommodation, third is compromise, fourth is collaborative. I'll give you a first example of competitive. Back in my college days, I was discussing with my team. I was a head of a programming club, and we were discussing about a jersey color for our one event in the campus. So the sort of a jersey, or you can say a t-shirt. So I call it a jersey because I'm a cricket fan. So we were discussing about the color of jersey, and we had around 4 people, and we were discussing about what should be the color of jersey. everybody was saying it should be red, it should be green, it should be blue, and someone said it should be white. And I was sitting and I was thinking, we're not playing test match. So everybody was discussing about the things, and I was the person who will be deciding the thing, what will be the jersey color. So we discussed for around 30 minutes, and in the end I picked it should be blue. So in that case, everybody had a different opinion, but the person who was in charge, he picked the color of jersey. That's this style of negotiation is called competitive negotiation style. The second style is accommodation. The another example for accommodation is you're sitting with a lot of people, and you discuss about different things, and like we can pick this jersey color, we can pick this jersey color, and what you try to do, you try to understand the perspective of other people, like should we use this color or not, rather than the color should be chosen by the in charge of that meeting. So in this style, you try to understand the perspective of other people, and you try to maintain the relationship with other people. So this kind of negotiation style is called accommodation negotiation style. The third style is compromise, which most of the people do. And the thing which Toastmaster Walter mentioned, sometimes if a group of people are discussing about something and they split into two parts, so in that case, it's sure one group of people will be winning in that negotiation, and other person will be losing. Other group of people will be losing. So in that case, it's a more of a democratic style. So sometimes when you discuss in our excom also, so we try to go with this sort of a mini election, like what do you say, so they yes no, and we pick the result. So in this case, one group of people will be losing in that case, and other group of people will be gaining the result. And the last and the best negotiation style is collaborative, so which I prefer the most. So in this case, we try to understand like each and every member's perspective in the discussion, what they are saying, and can we come up to a solution in which everybody is happy to accept. Suppose you are picking a jersey color, and you didn't get a jersey color in the first 30 minutes, but you'll say, let's choose another color, and then in the end you will find one color which you can go with. So that's called a collaborative negotiation style. And the outcomes could be 4. Both the parties are winning, win-win situation. One party is winning, another party is losing, win-lose. And the third scenario is both the parties are losing, that is called a compromise. And the fourth style is when to, like, you can walk away from that situation also. That I did in my college placements mostly. So what you should follow to get the best result from a negotiation? The first impression should be up to the mark. The first 5 minutes should be in a way you are adding some value to them, or your whatever your opinion you are giving to them, that should be valuable and worthy. Second thing is stay objective and impersonal. Always try to bring the objectives and whatever opinion you are bringing on the table. Third thing is use I statements most. Why I? Because I is showing something, you are bringing some value to the table, and you connect that thing with yourself. And the fourth thing is show the appreciation. Whenever you're talking to someone else, try to appreciate their time commitments. Try to schedule the meeting if you're discussing with some other party. The fifth thing is time your discussion. Don't take too much of time to negotiate. Take the required amount of the time. And the last thing is focus on the interest. Don't go away from your focus point. So in the end, I'll conclude this by saying effective negotiation requires a persistent focus on what is most important. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Raghav.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ritik. Now we will have an open session basically, where we will speak to the members of our club. We request to share their experiences, how their journey have been in Toastmasters. Because we always follow a strict rules and agenda during every meeting, we rarely get time to listen from them. Today I got to know that Toastmaster Sudha has been a seasoned Toastmaster since 2001. Wow, it's a long time. I wonder, every Sunday you are coming to this meeting, what is that thing that pulls you towards this meeting? I personally am a new Toastmaster. I would like to learn from you. Similarly, there are other members in the club who has been there for some time. We'd like to hear from you. So in the interest of time, we'll keep the session maybe around 10 minutes. I request Toastmaster Ajay to keep track of time. So Toastmaster Sudha, would you like to go first and share some of your experiences about being associated with our club and your entire Toastmaster journey, some learning points for us? Over to you, Toastmaster Sudha.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Raghav. I think sometimes when you do things out of the box, it just becomes a little bit interesting. And that's the beauty of Toastmasters, when you put a person on the limelight without any intimation. Aren't we preparing ourselves for this moment? Okay, so as far as Toastmasters Association is concerned, yes, 2001 I joined, but I also took a long break of 12 to 14 years because of my career and motherhood and everything. But I'm back again in Bombay to join the Toastmasters Association. So yes, initially it was definitely breaking ice, being able to think on the feet, to be able to structure your thoughts, because we all have a lot of thoughts which we want to communicate to the audience. So how do we do it? We don't get an opportunity. So unless we get Toastmasters platform or something like this, we don't get the opportunity to do it. Structure our thoughts, structure our impact on the audience, participate in the contest. All these were the initial learnings. And now I think I also enjoy doing the mentoring bit because I find that everybody, new members who come in, they go through so much of the similar experiences that I've gone through. And if I can add any value to people in their journey, I think I love that moment. And that's another thing which I enjoy. And yes, I'm really waiting for a face-to-face session very soon. It's been very limiting in many ways to have this virtual session. Toastmasters, I think, adopt itself to give you a facing the person in, in real. So I'm looking forward to that opportunity very soon. We will be getting onto that. But Toastmasters has been a very exhilarating experience for me. Thanks to that, I think I can speak anything, anywhere, anytime. Thank you. Over to you, Raghav.
Yeah, I mean, your answer was so great. It actually brought me another question in my mind. So, see, whenever a new prospect comes to our club, they always ask me, why should we join Toastmasters and why not some professional courses that are out there? I mean, at the end of the day, they're professionals, right? They're charging you some maybe big amount of money. But what's the difference? Why should we go for Toastmaster and not that? Because you have been a seasoned Toastmaster for a while, you would know the difference. Can you help us with an answer?
So in a course kind of a session, you always realize that it is always structured from the person who's going to convene the program for you. But everyone comes with a different agenda, right? To achieve their public speaking goals. And everybody is at different levels. That's another thing. And everybody has different skill set. So I think Toastmasters gives you a absolutely flexible way of doing it, tailor-made if you want, and also to take help from each other along the learning process. I mean, these are the three things which you don't get in a structured program, and it's time bound. The courses are outside are time bound. Toastmasters is an ongoing program. You can decide the pace of it depending upon the commitments that you have. And I think it's important for us to realize that we are here to grow together, and it's a very supportive organization. You don't get that support in a course, in a structured course. It's only the convener who's giving you that support. But here you have multiple people for different things that you can go to. And Toastmasters really prepares you for different angles of public speaking. Now, today, Ritik spoke about negotiation. There are times as you do your projects, you will have panel discussion. You will also have things like where you're actually doing a speech on eulogy, right? These are all moments where you are actually put in the uh, limelight, and you have to gather all the skills that you have to make it perfect. And let me tell you, speech writing is the paramount need for constructing a speech. I mean, giving a good delivery. Speech writing, you do it so many times as you go to the stage. You become just, I won't say expert, but you become very comfortable with it. So that's another important angle. So these things, I don't think they really teach in a structured program, because they have the time bound, they have time objective, and it's not personalized to everyone. This Toastmasters is absolutely flexible, can be tailor-made depending upon the individual. I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, absolutely. And I agree with you actually. Because before joining Toastmasters, when I was actually looking for a program where I can improve my public speaking as well as presentation skills, I explored those programs. And what you have said is absolutely correct. I'm experiencing those things here. So our ex-president of our club, Toastmaster Glenn, can I request you to come next? You are on mute, Toastmaster Glenn.
Yes, Raghav, tell me.
Yeah. So Toastmaster Glenn, how did you develop this passion for Toastmasters? I mean, what clicked? The very first day, the first time is always special, right? The first thing, when did it start? Yeah.
So I think the passion goes hand in hand with my career, right? Professional career, because I'm a speaker at the place where I work, right? And this particular platform gives me the ability to demonstrate, to experiment, and to go beyond certain areas that I would not be able to go at my workplace. So that's why I use this platform more or less as a stage wherein I can experiment and then add those experimentations back and forth.
Thank you so much, Glenn. Now, can I request Toastmaster Babu sir to share some of his experience? And I would actually request it should be targeted to the newcomers. Today, we are already planning for induction session, right? So I think they would really benefit. It's some quick tips, how they can experience and enjoy their journey and learn a lot of things from Toastmasters. You can share a few words on that. Babu sir.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raghav. Yes, anyway, since I'm going to do the induction ceremony today, I was planning to touch upon some of the points as well. But since you've asked me, I would say that this is a very unique program. Like it was touched upon, if you go to any other program, if you attend any other course, those are finite, limited to a certain period of time. And then it's a one-way communication generally. I have attended a few communication courses as well, which used to last for a day, 2 days, or maybe a week. And you would always have a monologue. Okay, you have some kind of case studies, discussions, and all that. But invariably, it is the experience, let's say, of the trainer. And he imparts that to the attendees. And maybe after a couple of days, you have digested that. Then you go about your own business and work. And probably 3-4 months down the line, if you have not applied it, you've forgotten about it. So the basic difference between any other training program and Toastmasters is that here, it's something which you do step by step, which is what I tell when many of the guests ask me, how long do we stay in a program? Is it a month, 2 months, 5 months, 1 year? So I tell them the longer you stay in this program, the more you will benefit. And the reason is very obvious, because the more you stay in the program, the more you participate, the more you contribute, the more you share, the more you learn. So in that respect, this is a very unique program. And if you look at the facets of the benefits, you're talking of communication on one side. Now, after a certain point of time, if you feel that, okay, you're ready for certain other challenges, then you take up leadership positions like the XCOM team, the XCOM roles, area directors, division directors, and the rest of it. There are so many other roles. So you have the communication and the leadership there. Now, this is for a lot of professionals who want to add a certain kind of, just one second, who want to add a certain extra dimension to their resumes as well. But for me, the main thing about Toastmasters is the passion that people bring into it. Once you're hooked on to Toastmasters, it's a kind of interest and passion which only keeps building up from time to time. And suddenly you find that it has intermingled with your own professional work, and you can see the benefits for yourself. Now, for me, I looked at Toastmasters from two phases. The time when I joined initially in Muscat, at that time, it was for me more of a hobby. I had not intended any kind of professional benefit from it. For me, it was a hobby, a reason to interact with people, a chance to speak, and so many other things. And the second phase was when I relocated to Mumbai, and I was almost like a stranger to the city. And which other organization I could lean back to for getting to know people better than to join Toastmasters. And that is how I joined Bombay Toastmasters, to start networking with people, to know my own neighborhood much better. And I continued my Toastmasters journey. So all I'm saying is, you can get whatever you want out of this program. It is all up to you. As long as your focus is there, your interest is there, and some kind of a commitment. Yes, we always tend to put Toastmasters sometimes on the back burner. But if we can give that initial commitment, at least for 6 months, and you're able to really understand the benefits, I think it is a kind of program which will stay with you forever. Over to you, Toastmaster Raghav.
Thank you so much, Babu sir, and Toastmaster Claire and Toastmaster Sudha for those valuable words. Really, we have learned a lot. So with this, I believe we can conclude this round in the interest of time. So people who are willing to speak up can, of course, participate in the table topics round. So now we will have the induction ceremony of the new Toastmasters who have recently joined our club. They need to be formally inducted to our club. And Toastmaster Babu will conduct this ceremony. Now, again, I hand over the stage to Toastmaster Babu to conduct the induction ceremony.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raghav, once again. Yes, indeed. But before I start the induction ceremony, I think Madam President wanted a few minutes, perhaps, to say some very important words. So, Toastmaster Sudha, would you like to say something?
Yes, thank you so much, Babu sir. I just wanted to introduce our guests who have taken the time off to join our session, which was supposed to be in the beginning. I think I didn't probably get around to doing that. So I do see guest Anil Goyal, who's joined us from Cap Savvy. Good morning, Mr. Anil. Nice to have you here. How is it that you have joined us, and how do you feel so far?
Yeah, good morning, all the Toastmasters. This is my first session which I have attended. I had spoken to Mr. Babu Narayan long back, around 2 months back. Since then, I have been trying, but and I was suggested because my job also requires a lot of public speaking. So I thought this is the best platform where I was suggested for that. So looking forward for more interaction from all of you and learn from all of you. You have been doing fantastic, which I have observed for last 1 hour. So looking forward for more learnings.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Anil. Thanks for joining us, and looking forward to seeing you at future meetings as well. Thank you.
Sure.
I also see guest Parimal. This is the second time you have joined us, Parimal. Good to have you back. How do you find the experience so far?
Yeah, madam, good morning. It's a very nice session, and I want to learn. I want to improve my public speaking skills. That's why I joined this platform and this course. And it's paramount to speak in front of any meetings or any communication. So I want to improve that. That is why I joined this course. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And you're already towing the line and following the guidelines of Toastmasters. You've already started using word of the day. So we all put our hands together and we put our thumbs up whenever anybody uses the word paramount. So you're doing well. Thank you. And looking forward to seeing you more in the meetings. With that, I would like to hand it over to Babu sir. I think, yeah, I have covered all the guests. Babu sir, the stage is all yours for the induction ceremony. And Avni has also joined us. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Madam President. And let us now get on to this business session, which is the induction ceremony. In fact, the one thing that I like very much about Mumbai speakers is that as a club, we have always considered it our paramount responsibility to induct all the new members. In some other clubs, it's an option, in fact, sometimes forgotten as well. But it's so heartening to see that we here at Mumbai Speakers take it as an important responsibility and duty to induct all the new members to get them going for their journey in Toastmasters. So without much ado, let me commence the induction ceremony. And today we have, if I'm not mistaken, 5 members who will be inducted. Am I right, Madam President?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, I would only request the Zoom
will...
master to spotlight these members. I will read out the names in a while. Let me just begin with the initial introduction. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests, it is now our duty and privilege to induct 5 new members into the Mumbai Speakers Toastmasters Club. Now, this is an important occasion both for these new members and for our club. These individuals have come to Toastmasters seeking to improve their communication and leadership skills. And we now have an opportunity to help them learn, grow, and achieve. I will call our new members forward, which means ask them to be spotlighted on the screen. Please withhold your applause until the ceremony complete. May I now call out the names? Toastmaster Avni. I think she mentioned that she may not be able to switch on the video, but oh yes, she's there. Thanks, Avni. Toastmaster Sangram. Toastmaster Rishikesh. Yes, Toastmaster Rishikesh. Oh yeah, okay. Toastmaster Harsh.
Harsh has not been able to join us, Babu sir, so we can omit him. Yeah.
Okay, and Toastmaster Darshan. Okay, great. So we have the 4 of you. Toastmaster Avni, Toastmaster Sangram, Toastmaster Rishikesh, and Toastmaster Darshan. Okay, this is for all of you. You are joining a worldwide organization we call it Toastmasters International that has helped nearly 3 million people, but perhaps at this point of time, we have 3.25 or 3.5 and counting, because this is from a script, so it may be a little dated. You are joining a worldwide organization that has helped people learn to communicate more effectively. As members of the Mumbai Speakers Toastmasters Club, you will benefit from a proven program of self-development. You will become part of an outstanding group of people who are dedicated to help one another in a spirit of sharing and enjoyment. I'm sure You've already experienced a little bit of that. Madam Vice President Education, I would say Acting Vice President Education, have these new members been given an opportunity to discuss their needs and goals with the club? And have they been told how the Toastmasters program works and informed of the many benefits that they will receive, as well as the obligations of membership? And have they been provided with a mentor?
Yes, sir, has been done.
Okay, great. Now we do have a small segment wherein we name the mentors and ask them to affirm their agreement. But I think since that process is still going on, I will just give that a skip. But suffice it to say that all of you will be having mentors who will be guiding you throughout this entire journey. And you will have official mentors, and you can also fall back on unofficial mentors if you choose to. Okay. Now to all of you, membership, these are the obligations. Membership in this club and in Toastmasters International is a privilege that carries with it many rewards. Yes, it also places certain obligations upon you. We are a group of people brought together to do things which we could not perhaps accomplish alone. Our collective obligation is to grow and improve ourselves and to share our knowledge and experience with fellow members in a spirit of fun and enjoyment. This means that you must work diligently towards your own self-development, evaluate others' speeches in a spirit of support and sharing. This, of course, will come a little later in your Toastmaster journey. Assist the club in reaching its goals, which would be mentioned to you from time to time as we go along, and maintain, more importantly, a very positive intent always. We ask you, our new members, to dedicate yourselves to personal growth and to share this great gift with your fellow members and to help keep Mumbai Speakers Toastmasters Club strong and dynamic. You may just put your hand across your shoulder and affirm your membership by repeating the following words. You may repeat after me. I. Mention your name.
I, Sangram Gaikwad.
Yeah. All of you. Avni, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, I, Avni Mewada.
Yeah, okay. In the presence of my fellow members.
Presence of my fellow members.
Of Mumbai Speakers Toastmasters Club.
Mumbai Speakers Toastmasters Club.
Make this firm obligation.
Make this firm obligation.
Okay, now I'll read out 6 of the obligations. Just repeat after me. Number 1, to attend meetings regularly and prepare for each assignment.
Meetings regularly and prepare for assignments.
To apply myself to the requirements.
Apply myself for the requirements.
Outlined in the Toastmasters educational program.
Outlined in the Toastmasters educational program.
To regularly and fully participate in club activities. To evaluate others in a positive and constructive manner.
Others in a positive and constructive manner.
To build open and friendly relationships.
Build open and friendly relationship.
With my fellow members.
With my fellow members.
And to bring new members into the club.
and to bring new members to the club
so that they can also gain the benefits of Toastmasters.
so that they can also gain benefits of the Toastmasters.
Okay, thank you. Now that's done. Now, to all the club members of Mumbai speakers, would all the club members and mentors repeat the club pledge to its new members? I will read out. You can repeat after me, all the members of Mumbai speakers.
Sure.
We, the members of Mumbai Speakers Toastmasters Club,
We the members
Members
Mumbai Toastmasters Club
Toastmaster Club
pledge to support you
pledge to support
Pledge
you
to
pledge to support you
in your quest for self-development,
in your
Your
quest
of
to self-development,
development,
to provide you with positive and helpful evaluations,
to provide
provide
you
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 positive and
and
helpful
helpful evaluations
to maintain a friendly and supportive atmosphere,
to
maintain a friendly and
supportive environment,
to give you opportunities to help others,
to give
give the
opportunity to help
opportunity to
others,
help
others,
and to make your Toastmasters membership
and to
and
make
to
your
make
make your
Toastmasters
Toastmasters
membership
membership
a rewarding and fulfilling experience.
rewarding
and fulfilling
experience.
experience.
Okay, now normally in a physical meeting, we present the new members with a pin and perhaps a certificate. Maybe the president will arrange for it sooner than later, or probably whenever we have the next physical meet. So please join me, everyone, in welcoming our newest members to our club. Let's invite them with a huge round of applause to Mumbai Speakers Toastmasters Club. Welcome all our new members and wish you a rewarding and happy journey.
Welcome to Mumbai.
Thank you so much. And with that, the induction ceremony is over and I hand it over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Babu. If you still remember, we were talking about mindful eating. Mindful eating. And I mentioned to you that you don't have to adhere to strict diet plans to apply mindful eating to your lives. So how can you apply? It can start with a series of questions that you should ask yourself. Where is the food coming from? Why am I eating? What will this food do to me or to my body? How will I eat? These questions may sound somewhat bizarre to you, but when I explain in detail, it will make perfect sense. That's my guarantee. First is, where did the food come from? Knowing where the food comes from is a very deeper understanding of the evolution of the food. For example, the vegetable. Think about from the seed to the photosynthesis, to the plant, to the tree, to the farmer's hand, then to your hand, the consumer. Now, having such a deeper understanding of the food will actually help you appreciate the food more. Or who knows, next time when you are in the supermarket, rather than picking up that ready-to-eat frozen food, you will actually pick up some fresh veggies, right? The second question is, why are you eating? This is very crucial. Are you eating because you are actually hungry? Or does your emotions or hormones are tricking your mind to have a tub of ice cream and some Uncle Sips and some cold drinks perhaps? Later on, our body may disagree with this irrational choice and can actually inflict some feelings of guilt. Now, realizing all this, that you will have this, then you will feel guilt afterwards, is a very key step towards mindful eating. Before we move on to the third and fourth questions, you have to wait for a while. We will have the table topics round. To conduct the table topic session today, we have Toastmaster Engelbert. Please help me in welcoming the table topics master of the day, Toastmaster Engelbert. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Raghav, and welcome to the guest and to the fellow Toastmasters. Today's topic is of paramount importance to most of us. It is, I think even paramount will also be an understatement, because I think we all work, live, eat, and retire for food. So today's topic, I think I'm very, very happy that I chose to be the Toastmaster today. So with this very wonderful note, just for the newcomers, the main purpose of this impromptu speaking is to develop your skill, that is your impromptu speaking, and also you're given 1 to 2 minutes to speak. And it is again paramount importance to use the word of the day so that it will help. In fact, one of the guests had already, I think Parimal has already used, so he's already in the group. So I think, I don't know whether the topic food made him excited or joining, Toastmasters made him. So, so I think we should keep the toast, the first topic, I think we will keep it open to the guest. So the first topic is for the guest. So who would like to, volunteer? So just, 1 to 2 minutes. Yeah. So quickly, you can just, I think Parimal has yes, pressed unmute. Okay, so I'll give chance to Parimal Patel. Okay, so your topic is first we eat, then we do everything else. So please elaborate in your own words. I repeat the topic. First we eat, then we do everything else.
Okay, first we eat and then we do everything else.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you, sir. In normal, in office hours also, when we reach office, after that we went to Tapri for, or we go to Tapri for tea. At that time we eat samosas, vada pav. At that time we think that I am hungry, let me eat that. But afterwards at evening, when it's happened that acidity and all that time we think, why I ate that. So it happened that we should not eat that, but due to hungriness, or you can say with friends, we don't think all these things and we eat. And after all this, it's happened, it's a regular basis, it's habit happened that let's go at Tapri, eat samosa, then we smoke it, cigarettes and all this. So it's we have to think why it's really, is it a need to eat samosa, or we should eat some good foods, or like fruits, or any healthy snack like idli or pova, like that in nasta. So that is the thing we should think, and then we should eat. It's not that we ate and then, oh, we should not eat that food, like that, sir. Okay, thanks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Excellent. I think we all need to clap. Thank you, Parimal. You tempted us because just now, just 2-3 minutes back, Ritik said he likes fast food, and again you were repeating samosa and all the fast food. So Ritik is also happy. We are also happy. So we'll go to the second topic. Now this is open to all. Anybody would like to volunteer for the next topic? Yeah, just raise your hand, show of hand, so that it will be easy for me to identify.
Are you going to ask about food again?
Oh, then so I think I'll go to Ritik itself. Yeah. So the topic for you, Ritik, is eating to live or living to eat. I repeat, eating to live or living to eat.
Thank you, table topic master. My answer is living to eat, to be honest. Even though, yeah, it's a really good point from Toastmaster Raghav. Like, you should eat because that decides your mental state, your health, everything. But I'm exception because I have a very high metabolism, so I can eat whatever I want to. So that's not an issue for me. But I'll give you why I said like living to eat, because back in college days, I had friends who used to eat a lot, like from the start of the day until the start of the like end of the day. We used to go multiple restaurants in the town, and there was no such place we haven't visited there. So it was like we used to like every day we used to open the Google map and we try to find like where we can go. So I wasn't the person living to eat. I was eat to live, eat to living. But after college, I became living to eat, and that was the reason I got a lot of weight, and I have fat in the tummy also. So that's the issue of that thing. So that's all from my end. Over to you, table topic master Engelbert.
Thank you, Ritik, for both making us happy as well as scaring us about facts. So the next one, I think we will give a chance this time to the guest. So if you can just go to Anil, Anil Goel, if you can just unmute yourself. So your topic is my ideal meal. I repeat, my ideal meal.
Yeah. Thank you, Table Toastmaster. I fully agree to this sentence, my ideal meal, because I remember my old days of 5 years back. I had a weight of around 87 kgs, and I reduced it to 15 kg less now. So it is around 70 kg now. The meal plays very important role in maintaining the health and the other issues also. So I started eating less. It's not that ideal meal that should suffice, but the quantity of the meal that should be importance. So I concentrated on a healthy start of the day with the healthy breakfast, and then less of lunch, and then skipping the dinner altogether. So not only me, but all the family members of mine, we have been following this diet pattern, and fortunately, all of us have been able to maintain our health and the weight per se. Coming to diet specifically, then I would say avoid all those oily food and the other stuff, but concentrate on the raw vegetables that will more be beneficial. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Anil, for the good tips. Hope we'll be able to use some of them. Yeah, thank you. So over to Walter. So since Walter has been raising his hand since long, so I think the topic for you is food brings people together. I repeat, food brings people together.
Okay. Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes.
Thank you. So yes, food brings people together. It's a very correct sentence, or the sentence which gives itself the meaning that, see, once we eat together, we live together, and we openly talk and discuss, and then we understand the different viewpoints. So that's a key thing. So we live together is what we are live in harmony, whether it's a differences of opinion, but then we respect each other, we know their perspective. So understanding the other man's perspective, it always makes us to know how why he said that, why he reacted that way. And it always helps us in long journey, whether it's in family, whether it's in professional life, to deal with the situation, to understand the group and understand the people and to manage them. This is a strategy we many times use when we arrange a team meeting in office, or maybe after some weekend we go as a department together and eat together. And that's very critical, I think. And that's thing we should always keep in mind, because that's a good strategy. Second thing, someone was saying like, I think Toastmaster of the day, like after a day of work, when we come back together, what's a pleasure, whole family sitting together having dinner and all. So that's also bring and keep our bonding together. So I think that's very crucial. and those who are eat together, having food together, live together, and perform together, and enjoy together as a life. I think that's my perspective. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Walter. And you said so beautifully because my next topic is also related to what you ended up so nicely. So I think the next will go to Sudha. So the topic for you is
No, 1 second. I think Darshan has raised his hand. Maybe Darshan can go first. I'll take it later.
okay. Okay. So I'll
Thank
go
you.
to Darshan. Yeah, why not? So Darshan, your topic is where there is good food, there is happiness. I repeat, where there is good food, there is happiness.
Thank you, topic master. Good food and happiness go hand in hand. We understand that the body needs energy for performing its various activities. What we eat guides our mood, and hence what we consume actually helps us do our actions. So when we decide on what food we eat, that will decide what we do throughout the day, how we think throughout the day, what will our emotions play. For example, if there is a situation where you load yourself with the heat, and there is a meeting afterwards, then you will realize that you are not energetic, you are feeling sleepy, and you are not up to the mark. So you need to decide on what you want out of the food, and that will help you to decide what you can eat. And once you have your meals and your activities adjusted, you will gain what you want. Thank you, Toastmasters. Over to you.
Thank you, Darshan, very much. Very rightly said. Yeah, and the good example you gave. Yeah. So now over to Sudha ma'am now. Yeah, she has assistant also with her. So I think with the same love towards the family, the next topic is live, love, eat. So ma'am, please explain live, love, eat.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Engelbert, for that lovely topic and a very soulful question. Yes, we all are here to live our life. And for living a life, we need to enrich ourselves with the right nutrients. And that's how we are able to go on with this journey called life. And it's funny enough, if you look around and you see all the things, what people do is towards that common goal. And sometimes we forget that that is the common goal, and lots of other things come across as being the main reason for you to get up in the morning, to do things for your children, to go to work, to probably come back and also rest so that you can have a good body to take on a life again. So I personally think that live live your life king size, eat sensibly, definitely, because you need to take care of this machine called your human body to be able to take you through different challenges and also for a long time. Considering that you have a wear and tear of the body as well, you need to not join the wear and tear. You have to probably conserve the wear and tear to some extent, because wear and tear is going to happen. So like Ritik says that he loves fast food. I also used to say I love fast food. I don't know how many years back, but yeah, I also used to love it. I've not entered a McDonald's now for the last 20 years. So I've probably stopped it. So that's the point which Raghav is probably trying to inbuilt in us. So it's mindful eating. So live life king size, eat sensibly, and love this beautiful journey called life. Thank you. Over to you, Table Topics Master.
Wow, you ended up in such a nice note with so many messages, not just food, with life and all. Thank you very much. So I think after talking or after listening to you, I think I got another topic in head. So I was supposed to make you the last one, but because you inspired me, I think there's one more topic. So if anybody would like to volunteer, Yeah, so thanks to Sudha ma'am actually. Anybody?
Toastmaster Ajay.
Okay, we'll give it to Toastmaster Ajay. So, Toastmaster Ajay, just like Sudha ma'am said, health is wealth. So your topic is health is wealth.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. Table topic master Angelbert. Health is wealth. It is a perfect example when you woke up in the morning, 5:30, and 3-4 kilometers you run, and then you do a meditations. And I follow this since last 15 years, and it helps me to stress out in day-to-day work in the office and in my personal front, also in my home. Whatever comes in me, I handle very nicely, very stress without, stress. There's no stress in me. I can handle very calmly and very efficiently. So, as you said, health is wealth. Of course, to make your mind or body healthy, you should do some kind of physical activity as well as the mental activity. Physical activity you can do running, you go to gym, you do exercise in the morning, and for the mind, you should do meditations, you should do yoga, you can do some breathing exercise in the morning. These are the tools I would suggest everyone to follow in their life. It gives mental as well as the physical fitness. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you Ajay for specifying on what things we should do and reminding us. I'm sure at least for next week we will or next Sunday I'll see all of you more fitter, more healthier, and yeah, more happier. Okay, because now if you see, for healthy food or plant-based food is more expensive than fast food or aerated drinks. So yeah, so I think we need wealth for health and health for wealth. So on this very happy note, over to you, Raghav. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Engelbert, for this amazing table topics round. Now I request Toastmaster Ajay to give the timers report for the table topics round. Over to you, Toastmaster Ajay.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Raghav. I can say this table topic session is a paramount session. Fantastic. All the participants had really done their speech well. So I can present my table topic speech. Guest Parimal, he took 1 minute 25 seconds. Number 2, Toastmaster Ritik, he took 1 minute 28 seconds. Number 3, guest Anil, he took 1 minute 19 seconds. Number 4, Toastmaster Walter, he took 1 minute 34 seconds. Toastmaster Darshan, he took 1 minute 13 seconds. Number 6, Toastmaster Sudha took 2 minutes 3 seconds. Number 7, myself, I took 1 minute 35 seconds, and all are qualified. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Raghav.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ajay. So can we have the poll for the best table topics speaker? We won't have any poll for best prepared speeches because there's only one speech. Yeah. I request every participants to please vote. I think the poll is done. Toastmaster Ajay, can you please also give the timers report for prepared speeches? We won't have any poll, but we can have the timers report.
Yeah. Prepared speeches. Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, Raghav. I would say prepared speech is only given by Ritik, and it's a paramount speech. And he took 7 minutes 26 seconds, and he's also qualified.
Thank you
for the voting. Thank you. Over to you.
Yeah. So coming back to the theme of the day, we already discussed about the 2 questions regarding mindful eating, that we should think about where the food that we eat are coming from and why am I eating? So now let's move on to the third question. What are you eating? Pretty basic, right? What kind of food you are going to buy or consume? Mindful eating includes knowing which food choice will nourish your body. So educate yourself. And while eating, pay very close attention to the texture of the food, the color of the food, the temperature of the food, the taste of the food. In short, being mindful of what you are ingesting. Now, the final question you should ask is, how do you eat? Do you eat like very hurriedly, like that, on the go? Or you cannot just, eat while watching Netflix. You have to watch Netflix while eating. Netflix is a must. Well, there has to be a series going on. So how do you eat actually play a very significant role in your metabolism. It takes our brain about 20 minutes to register the feeling of fullness. So if you think about it, if you're ingesting and having a food in a very slow manner, you are actually avoiding overeating. So these are the four questions that involves mindful eating. Now we'll move on to the next part of our meeting. And it is a very important round in a Toastmasters meeting. In this round, constructive feedback is given to the speaker as well as to the overall conduct of the meeting by the seasoned Toastmasters. And the experience of the evaluators really help us become better speakers. The general evaluator will conduct this session. Now, I would like to hand over the session to the general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Babu. Over to you, Toastmaster Babu.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raghav, for handing over this segment of the session to me. In fact, echoing your theme, I would say that today we've had a wholesome and a satisfying session. I say this because today's session covered almost all the facets of a Toastmaster session. We had prepared speeches, we had impromptu table topic session, we had a sort of mini educational session, which allowed some of the senior members to express their opinions on Toastmasters. We had the induction ceremony, and now we are going to have the evaluation session. But before I start speaking about the session itself, it is my duty to start the first segment of this general evaluation segment, which is the speech evaluations. And today we have only one speech evaluation, but nevertheless a very important one, which will be performed by Toastmaster Glenn to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Ritik. So over to Toastmaster Glenn for his speech evaluation.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Babu. Can I see the timer screens? Toastmaster Ritik. So today we'll go about and we'll start off with the purpose of this particular speech, right? Which was for you to learn different negotiation tactics and again to share some of those tactics that you have actually used in your day-to-day life. So if I go purely by this particular objective, I think you've nailed it, right? Those were bang on. Now, let's talk about some paramount details of this particular speech. So firstly, what I'd like to say is you're the speaker, right? And you being the speaker, you want to grab the attention of the audience. But when you opened this particular call, you were slouched in like this. And that's something that appeared very casual. I think that was your posture for pretty much the first 2 to 3 minutes of that particular speech. The other thing is, and this can go both ways, all right? Your comfort level. So today, I think we had a very small number of people on the call, right? And faces that you're more or less familiar with and speak to on a daily basis. Somewhere I felt this was more of a conversation happening over tea rather than a Toastmaster speech. Okay, so, and I'm giving you this feedback because this is a level 3 speech. So I would have wanted to see that type of enthusiasm in your speech, that type of voice variety in your speech and so on, right? There was a little bit of confusion that I felt as the listener. You gave all your examples, and I agree that the speech itself is a little limited, right? Because this is a topic given by Toastmasters. There's very little that you can do about it. But in your competitive example, you spoke about changing the color to blue. I was not really sure what happened after that. Towards the end of the speech, you mentioned to challenge yourself. I'm sorry, you mentioned take the required time. But what is the required time, right? If you could have elaborated on that. And then lastly, what I would also like to mention out here today is it's a speech, not a dialogue, right? It's not a two-way communication. I think somewhere in this entire scenario, you were crunched for time, okay? And you were trying to make sense of a lot of things that you wanted to put into that particular time frame. And you brought yourself into that situation. I'll tell you why. For the first 2.5 minutes, you opened it up to Walter and I think Raghav, right? Wherein you were having a dialogue. So if you insist on having a dialogue in a speech, try and keep it to maybe a one-word question, right? Yes or no, something like that. Because at the end of the day, we want to hear you speaking because you are the speaker, you are the speech, right? Otherwise, if we are looking at a dialogue, it was more like the first 2 minutes they were put into a table topic session. Right? That's all that I have for you today, Toastmaster Ritik. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Bob.
Thank you, Toastmaster Glenn, for that crisp, cryptic, and should I say constructive evaluation. May I request the timer, though we are not having a poll, for the best evaluator to tell us about the timings for Toastmaster Glenn? I did see it, but can we have the official confirmation?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster General Walter Babu, sir. Toastmaster Glenn took 3 minutes 37 seconds, so he's disqualified.
Okay, fine. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ajay. And now let us go on to our tag team's report, the reports from the trio of timer, R counter, and grammarian. So for that, let me invite the R counter, which has been performed today by Toastmaster Darshan. Over to you, Toastmaster Darshan.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Babu. I'll present the R report. Share my screen. I hope it is visible.
Yeah.
Presiding officer Sudha, she used 20 times, crush words for 5 times, and the filler phrase like for 27 times. TMoD Raghav, he used for 2 times, crush words for 4 times, filler phrases for 3 times. There were long phrase pauses for 1 instance. Speaker Ritik, he used for 70 times, crutch words like means so for 9 times. He used 6 times, so word twice. Zoom master Walter, he used a for 5 times, word so for 2 times, and you know for 1 time. General evaluator Babu sir, he used a for 6 times, so for 1 time, you know for 1 time. Dr. Ajay, he used
I'm at the last part of my 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10, 15.
repeat phrases for 2 times and long clause for 1 time. Grammarian Sangram used a word 4 times. Account of Darshan, he himself evaluated myself, and I guess it's more than 5 easily. But anyways, I've counted it only for 5 times. Next, Parimal, he used 3 times, crush words 2 times, and you know word 2 times. He also used some words which were not supposed to be used, like K, which is a Gujarati word, so it could have been avoided. Guest Anil used for 8 times, crush words once, filler phrase once. Table topic master and Gilbert, he used for 6 times, crush words for 3 times, you know word for 5 times. That's it. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Darshan, for a very, very exhaustive report. I must say that you've covered all the role players very well, and also all the clutch words and all the R's that there could have been. Thank you so much for that. And now let us move on to our third report, which is from the grammarian. And for this, I would like to invite Toastmaster Sangram. Please put your hands together. Toastmaster Sangram.
Thank you, Babu sir, fellow Toastmasters. It's an absolute pleasure to listen to all the speakers today, and there was a good use of English as well. So I would like to cite few things which I have observed on the overall when they was talking, is about the use of the word of the day, whether the speech was clear or concise, whether there is any incomplete sentence or wrong pronouns or something. But I find the overall use of English was quite phenomenal. And I have few words which I have learned it today. So I mean, the word of the the use of the word was paramount, and the theme also was food is about the food, and some of the Raghav has started it very well. His speech was very clear and concise. I have the use of the word of the day. Sudha used it twice. Engelbert used it twice. Sudha is used it once. Parimal used it for once. Then Ajay, Glenn, they have used it. A few words, sentence which I wrote down is passion goes hand in hand, which was by Glenn. Then you nailed it. There's something which is there. Sudha is used limelight, exhilarating, which is very common by her. Tailor-made, and then message from her: live your life king size. Ritik, Wolf on the Wall Street, and okay. Okay. Over and above, I feel that the overall the speakers were very to the point, and they use the oral speech well. So I'm very thankful to do that. I got a role as a grammarian to evaluate this. Over to you, Toastmaster Raghav.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Sangram. I believe that you are playing this role for the first time.
Yes, Babu sir.
Okay, great. So I think before I proceed, let us all put our hands together for these wonderful reports of our tag team, and for a very detailed and exhaustive one at that. Okay, so now let us move on for the third segment, which is, okay, we have the poll here. Request all the members to cast their votes for the best auxiliary role player. Are we done?
Please vote. We need one more vote. Okay. Polls are done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so let us move on with the general evaluation. Let us start at the very beginning, as they say. And the meeting started well on time, probably just a minute late, permissible at that. And we had the usual familiar face of our Sergeant at Arms Toastmaster Walter kickstarting the meeting. He, of course, as usual, set the protocols in place, spelled out the mission statement, which is very, very important for every Toastmaster session. But what we've always liked about Toastmaster Walter is the innovative twist that he always brings to every session. And this time it was to do with clapping. And he set the tone, the energy for the entire meeting. And I would in fact say that for having taken up the role of the Sergeant at Arms and the Zoom Master at that, I think we need to give him a nice double clap for Toastmaster Walter. So well done, Toastmaster Walter, for that fantastic opening to today's meeting. And then he passed it on with a nice introduction to our President, Madam Sudha Warrior, for starting the session in right earnest. And she did just that with her customary, innovative, thoughtful, I would say, presidential address. And what I liked most about the address was that she was in the moment. She spoke about the different festivals that are going on at the moment, which included Gudi Padwa, Eid to come, Good Friday. She spoke about the harvest. And I think this is very important for every presidential address, where you speak about the moment, what is happening today, and of course, touch upon the happenings within the club as well. So well done, Madam President, on that. She did introduce the Toastmaster of the Day with a very nice introduction, though I would say that initially she forgot to introduce the guests, but made up for that at a much later stage. It was like the fielder who was trying to catch the ball, like the one I saw yesterday, and the ball just popped out of the hand, but you had the presence of mind to catch it again. So very well done on that score. And then we had the Toastmaster of the Day. I think Toastmaster Raghav is now making it a habit to introduce some wonderful themes whenever he takes up the Toastmaster session. I think this is your second or third Toastmaster role, isn't it, Toastmaster Raghav?
Second role, second.
Second one, yes. And what I really liked about was the theme of the day. And what could have been a better theme than food? I would say it was ample food for thought for all of us, right, throughout the session. It indeed tickled a lot of our taste buds of the mind. And I would say that some of those questions that you put forward will really set all of us thinking the next time we have a nice hearty meal, to really think whether we are doing the right things and whether we are doing mindful eating at that. So really wonderfully done, Toastmaster Raghav, for a theme which I think all of us really enjoyed. And then on to the speeches, where unfortunately, of course, we had only one speech against the two that we had spelled out for the session. In fact, as I was jokingly remarking to the Madam President, probably Toastmaster Mehek, who was the second speaker, was affected by food poisoning much before even she got to taste the theme of the session of Toastmaster Raghav. But yes, I think we need to probably have maybe at least 3 speeches lined up, so that in the worst situation of even one speaker dropping out, we at least have 2 speeches. So let's try and do it next time. Speeches, yes, the one single speech that we had by Toastmaster Ritik on what was it? The competitive strategies, was it? Yeah. I would definitely like to echo some of the sentiments of our evaluator today, Toastmaster Glenn. In that, while the speaker did touch upon the prime objectives of the project, which was to outline the different strategies where he spoke of competitive, accommodative, democratic, collaborative, everything very nicely done. But yes, there was a low energy when the speaker started out. And I think you need to bring a little bit more of voice modulation into your speech to be able to counteract the effect of the low energy levels. Toastmaster Glenn also touched upon the fact that a lot of time initially was taken up in the question and answer session. Now, normally this is incorporated in a separate project where you have ample time to do a question and answer session with the members. So I think you should reserve this time for that so that it doesn't eat into your own speech or project time. The other thing that you could have done better could have been to use a little bit of slides, because towards the end, I thought you were rushing into some of the benefits when you were trying to summarize the speech. So maybe it would have been just easier for you to show a few slides or all the benefits in one slide and mention about it so that the members, the audience can remember these once your speech is done. But yes, overall, I think it was a wonderful speech attempt and very well done. After that, we were on to our table topic session. And of course, Toastmaster Engelbert has made it a wonderful habit, like I always say, to come up with some wonderful topics. And today, all the topics were related to the theme. And therefore, I would say it was very nice for people to ponder and come up with some brilliant ideas. The only thing here that I would like to mention is that, in fact, it is to the timer, that perhaps it would be nice for the timer to come up with the timing criteria for each of these segments. For the prepared speeches, it can be just before the prepared speeches start. For the table topics, just before the table topics start, because some of the guests may not know the criterion for the timings. And also for Toastmaster Engelbert, maybe it would be nice to describe in a minute or two what impromptu speaking or table topics involves or entails for the benefit of the guests. But I think overall, it was a wonderful table topic session. So let us give the table topics master a huge round of applause. And as I mentioned, yes, all the role players today performed a wonderful job. And I think they deserve a very special mention, because if you see the trio, the tag team, the accountant, and the grammarian, they are so engrossed in the role. Sometimes they really miss out on the essence of the speech, other than what they're supposed to do for their roles. So it's a bit of a sacrifice that these three, and of course, even the Zoom master, the person who's performing the Zoom master's role. So I think let us all put our hands together and acknowledge that these people are really doing a great job one session to another. I think that sort of covers most of the points that I wanted to mention. We did have a good attendance to begin with. We had about 15 attendees. It's dropped down to 14. But yes, if each one of us can think of bringing in one guest, each of us as a member, that not only will talk about Toastmasters to them, because there is nothing like better than attending a session. And it also increases the strength, the participation. It also helps us give roles to many members. So let us try and do that next time whenever we have the sessions. But like I said, on the whole, it was a very wholesome session. Plethora of all facets of Toastmaster session was covered here. And the only point that I would like to mention is that sometimes we do struggle to find out at the beginning of the session whether the role players are there, and it becomes a little bit of a panic. Now, if it is possible for us to maybe open the Zoom even 20 minutes, 25 minutes before, and try and ensure that all the role players are in, so then we are able to start off the session well on time, and also to be comfortable in our interaction with the guests. So I think overall, yeah, and also about the guest participation in the table topics, it must be mentioned, and I think all of them did a wonderful job. So I would say overall, it was another exciting session. As I said, good food for thought provided by the TMoD and the rest of the role players. So it's back to the Toastmaster of the day for him to carry on from here.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Babu.
The only thing that I didn't mention is about my own role as the induction officer. So I thought it would be not fair on me to describe that.
Yeah. The opposite of mindful eating is called distracted eating. It is associated with anxiety, overeating, and weight gain. Dear Toastmasters, as we have seen in today's meeting, that mindful eating, all it takes to be our 100%, to be present while you are having food. As it is rightly said, that to eat is a necessity, but to eat intelligently is an art. And we all know that how paramount importance food is. With this thought, I hand over the proceedings of the meeting to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Sudha. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, for a wonderful session, mindful eating, mindful thinking, and mindful speaking today. Thank you so much. Let's all put our hands together and congratulate Toastmaster Raghav for a great topic, which we need to think about on every juncture of our life, whether you're a teenager, whether you're just out of college, and that's for you, Ritik, and and for the people who are in their midlife and maybe getting into retirement. Ritik actually confirmed that he follows good diets. He's not really a person who follows fast food. So Ritik, I'll wait till you come to Bombay, like I mentioned in the chat, and let me see how you don't eat your vada paws and your misal paws. Yeah. Great. Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day. Now, as far as the proceedings of the meeting are concerned, we have seen a wonderful meeting today. And like Babu sir said, it was important for us to induct the new members so that they get a flavor of this being a serious business. It's not just we all getting together and having a coffee or tete-a-tete together on a Sunday morning. This is about being committed to this journey and to be able to bring changes and transformation in each one of us at whatever levels we are. Everybody goes through growth and alpha, which we want to see in ourselves. And that's why we are all here. And thank you so much, Babu sir. You said about your role, but I think you are, I have to mention it, you don't like this title, but you are our Bhishma Pitamaha for our club. So please put our hands together and appreciate all your efforts, your guidance, and the reach outs and the shout outs that I do to you. By the way, he's on a holiday in a beautiful place called Kunnur. I told him, why don't you sit out in the garden and show us the beautiful place? But maybe the internet is not very strong out there, but he's promised to take us all to Kunnur one day, okay? So I don't know if that's going to happen. Thank you so much, Babu sir, for all your guidance.
Thank you so much.
Guidance and support. And it's so seamless that you do this role. I mean, to train another person to do it will take more time. So you just fit into it anytime I reach out to you. Thank you so much, Babu sir.
My pleasure.
Thank you. So with that, I just have a couple of announcements to make apart from the awards as well. One is the next meeting is going to be a joint one with the UAE Advanced Toastmasters Club. We will be sharing the roles. Like I mentioned, there are some speakers who have given their names to me already. I don't want any dropouts this time because it will be very difficult for me to arrange it, especially because we are having a joint meeting. We want to be showing our cohesiveness to be able to deliver whatever we commit for. The Toastmaster of the day is also decided, so we will be having a joint poster as well being issued. That's happening on the 10th. At the same time, though their club meeting was on Saturday, they've agreed to have it on Sunday itself. So that's great. The second the thing what I would like to say that there are some new members who have joined us. The mentor-mentee assignments are going to change a little bit, and there is some work being done in the background for the same. Please be patient. I will be sending it out in a couple of days. I and Babu sir just need to sit down and confirm few arrangements before I send it out. So please bear with me. Other than that, I do need to say that there are some few members of the club who have really reached out at times of challenges, like I mentioned last time as well. And I want to appreciate them in some manner or the other. And I was thinking, how do we do that? From April month onwards, we will be having the Toastmaster of the month. There are some criteria which I have come out with, the qualitative and the quantitative criteria for it, just to make it a little bit more meaningful in terms of you also being challenged to achieve a few goals. It will be about how many role plays that you take, like a tag role or a prepared speech or a TTM. They all will be assigned some points. And apart from that, your temperament, which is the qualitative part where you are able to, sorry, Ritik, yes, please do the polling. Please do the polling in the background. Thank you. So apart from that, we will also be having qualitative skills like your enthusiasm, your teamwork, your trying to do something out of the box. All that will be also graded. We have our minutes of being recorded, and we'll probably have some discussions around the minutes to come around with the winner. Those are the two announcements, and the people that I want to make a special mention is Rishikesh. Are you ready with the certificates that I shared you separately?
Yes.
Not the one for the meeting. I do.
Yes.
Yeah. Can we just have it on the screen?
Just a minute. A second.
The polling is over, right? Rishikesh, you can put the winners on my chat, please. Thank you.
I will require a minute, please.
Sharing screen?
Yes, just a minute.
Ritik, can you arrange that? Yeah. Rishikesh?
Yes, I am. Just a minute. Yes, is the screen visible?
Yes. Yes, you can go to the next one. So this is Vishal, Toastmaster Vishal. I've called it a group of Mumbai speakers enthusiasts. So that's the title I've given it to them, so that because they've gone out of their call of duty and been able to make sure that a lot of things which are required for the club proceedings are being handled beautifully. So let us put our hands together. Vishal is not here, but we will be awarding this separately to him. So please put our hands together and congratulate Vishal for orienting the new members on pathways and guiding them along so that the new members are on track on their journey. The next person is Ajay. I definitely want to congratulate Ajay on this because Ajay is a person who is ready to take up any role, anytime, very enthusiastic about learning and improving himself. And he is even ready to go out and give his speeches. He asks me for slots. So, and he's also doing an amazing job in the PR team to make sure that we meet our deadlines and all the support which is required for the PR function to go on smoothly. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Ajay. Ajay, are you there? Can we have
Yeah,
him on
yeah.
spotlight with a picture, please?
Thank you so much, Sudha.
Thank you for being the Mumbai speaker enthusiast. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next person is Mehek. The Toastmaster Mehek is another person who is a charm and delight of the club. She takes up roles. She always does it to perfection. And the next person is, of course, the leader of the team, which is Toastmaster Ritik Sharma, who is the head of PR. And he is doing a great job, not only on the PR front, he is the reservoir of a lot of information and a lot of files. So if you want anything about Mumbai Speakers Club, he is now the go-to person. So thank you so much, Toastmaster Ritik. Congratulations for being the Mumbai Speakers enthusiast. Next one. Raghav. Raghav, thank you so much again. Of course, apart from the TMoD, I want to appreciate your efforts. I know you are a salesperson by heart, but you have translated the sales skills to the Mumbai Speakers membership exercise as well. And you have done a wonderful job. We are going 36 now, 36 members on Mumbai Speakers. So congratulations for the team effort and also being resilient and going through the journey. Thank you. The next person is Toastmaster Urmila. Now, Urmila is another person I feel she is always ready to help, always. I have never seen her saying no to anything. In fact, she's the one who pushes me to look at the minutes of the meeting. You guys all read minutes of the meeting at the end of every meeting. Now, this is not something which everyone reads, probably, but this is a very important document because we go and refer those documents for a lot of things later on in life. And yes, she is also one of the few people who keep a lot of records as well for the club. When it becomes physical, she'll be actually keeping record of all these resources of the club as well. So Urmila, you're not here like many other people, but I had to do this before the Toastmaster of the month starts for the next month evaluation. So congratulations, Toastmaster Urmila, for being a Mumbai Speakers enthusiast. Thank you so much. Okay, now we'll go on quickly to the award winners of today. Okay, so we have the best evaluator is, I don't know, we haven't seen the polling for the evaluation, right? And for the prepared speaker. So we won't have the best prepared speaker and the best evaluator this time. We go on to the best table topic speaker, and that's yours truly, myself. Thank you so much. Everyone. The next person is the winning award is for the best auxiliary role player. Now this has been shared by Toastmaster Sangram and Toastmaster Darshan. So please put our hands together and congratulate both Toastmaster Sangram and Toastmaster Darshan. Are we showing the certificates as well? Ritik, Rishikesh?
Rishikesh, please share the awards share PPT.
Wow. Okay. Congratulations, Toastmaster Sangram and Toastmaster Darshan. I think both of you are taking up this role for the first time. Am I right? Yeah. Congratulations. The next one is also surprisingly a tie between Toastmaster Engelbert and Toastmaster Raghav for best of big three. Please put up hands together and congratulate. Thank you so much, everyone. I think it was a wonderful meeting. Like Babu sir also mentioned, our menu was absolutely perfect. We had a lot of, carbs. We had proteins. We had also fatty substances. And I think to correlate that to our meeting, we had elements of education session, prepared speeches, table topics, and a great evaluation. So that's what makes, and the induction ceremony as well. That's what makes a Toastmaster meeting perfect. So thank you so much for being a part of this wonderful meeting, and looking forward to seeing you all, because the next one is an important one. We all have to be there to cheer our club, because we're having a joint and learn from others. I mean, it's an advanced Toastmaster club, so we are sure we'll see veterans out there also taking up different speech slots. So be there, try and be there for the meeting. Thank you so much. And have the guests left, or yes, the both of them are still here. Guest Anil, how do you find the meeting today, finally, now that we have concluded?
Yeah, I like the format and the analysis which you do. It's a great learning. So generally when we speak, we do not know what is lacking and what is good on our part. But when third party is observing us and giving the critics in front of us, so that make more more cautious in terms of improving ourselves. So it's a good platform. I loved it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Toastmaster Parimal?
Yes, madam.
Toastmaster Parimal. I'm already calling you a Toastmaster. I don't know why, because you have already started using word of the day. Probably that's why. Please, what's your experience today?
Madam, it's a very nice experience. Overall, it's I will try to improve my public speaking skills through this platform.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. And Raghav, would you like to take both Parimal as well as Anil to just brief them about the
Yes,
club?
yes. I request Mr. Parimal and Mr. Anil to join me in the breakout room. You must have received one link on the screen, right? Just click on join.
Great. Thank
Ritik,
you
we
so
must
much.
stop the recording now. Ritik?
Yeah, we can stop it.